Good morning. It's the middle of February, 8th, 9th, some 10th, somewhere in there. Cold. The rest of the country's getting ready for cold. Big cold snaps coming in. I wanted to talk about acquiring bees, mostly for new beekeepers, but the information is the same for everybody. So there's a number of different methods to acquire bees. The cheapest, and I guess I'll talk about it first, or everybody will complain I didn't say it, is to catch a swarm. But if you really want bees, you can't guarantee you're going to catch a swarm, especially your first year trying to get one, and you don't know what condition it'll be in. So if you really want to have bees, your best bet is to buy some bees. I've done some other videos on some equipment, so we won't go into a lot of different equipment stuff for this, just bees. So one of the methods to get bees is to buy a package. The package is sold by weight, typically 3 pounds of bees and a queen, but I've also seen 2 pounds of bees and a queen. So be sure you know what you're buying. The other thing, the prices I've seen for the darn things are going for more than nukes right now. I don't know why, but they are. So there's a lot of problems with packages for new beekeepers. Now, packages work best for people who've had bees before and had a dead out or have extra resources they've accumulated. If you've got good resource frames like this one from a dead out or just pulling off of a strong hive, where you've got pollen in here already, you've got a band of honey over the top, that is a beautiful brood frame ready for the queen to take off laying in. So she can get a good jump on it. They don't have to go get resources. They're ready to go. If you're going to throw them in a box full of starter strips, they're going to struggle. So again, a package is for the right people. Not something I recommend for a new beekeeper. Your queen is also not laying. She comes in a little box and you turn her loose and she has to start laying again. So by the time she starts laying and you get emerging brood, you're close to 30 days from when you put them in that box. Well, a lot of the bees that you put in that box when they got here are older bees. Some of them are the overwinter bees. They're trying to get a hive started that they got shaken out of. And you're going to lose a lot of those older bees in the meantime. So now you've got a hive that's a little short on bees. The queen will only lay for what her hive can support. So if they can't keep more brood warm, she won't lay more brood. And if you've got a cold snap in the spring and they don't have a lot of feed, a package can really struggle to get up and started and running. And I don't know, if they were a quarter of the price of a nuke, I guess they'd be a good deal, but I don't see them as that great a deal. So, like I say, if you've got good established brood frames that are ready for them to take off, that's not a bad way to go. The other way to purchase is in a nuke, which is typically a 5-frame box. I've seen some sold as 6. I've seen some sold as 4. So verify what it is you're getting. You would expect to find, when I sell mine, they've got 3 frames of brood in various stages, as much capped as I can find. They've got resource frames, so 2 resource frames, hopefully with quite a bit of pollen and honey, capped honey, and a laying queen, so she doesn't have to start laying. She's already laying. And so the hive is ready to take off. It has fresh emerging brood coming immediately. And those are the nurse bees, and they're taking care of more brood, and she can lay more brood, and away they go. And they have food if you get a rainstorm or hailstorm for 2 days and they can't fly. There's food in their box. So typically when I sell one, I try to make sure that nuke is really strong. It needs to go almost immediately into a 10-frame box to give them some space. I just try to sell a good, honest nuke like that. Sometimes you just can't find exactly what you want to put in them when they're for sale. But if you put it then into a 10 frame and you've got 5 frames that just came in there, they've got some room to expand. They've got 5 extra frames to build comb on and move into. If that's already drawn comb, great, because then they don't have to work it that hard. So I'll be selling the 5 frame nukes this year for $165. I've also got an opportunity to pick up some other hives and equipment that I'm going to try to make a deal for new beekeepers. It's a pretty smoking deal, I believe. So I'm going to sell a super nuke. So it'll be five frames of the nuke that normally would have been in there. There'll be 3 frames with foundation or partially drawn or starter strips so that they've got room to move. It'll come with a feeder, the 10 frame box, a bottom board, which will probably not be the best bottom board I own, but it'll be a bottom board, and a top board. Again, it's going to be used equipment, but it'll get you started and established in bees without spending an awful lot of money. Now, you're not done. Hopefully, before you get to the flow, if you're taking care of these right, you're going to need another box and more frames. So, you know, you can pick that up and prepare. I've got a few used things around here that I could sell, but not a lot. But if you're only buying 1 box and some frames, it's not, you know, new. It's not killing you as much as trying to buy the whole setup. There's a lot of other equipment out there that I like and like to incorporate. A lot of guys do too. But to try to pick it all up at the same time you're trying to pick up your bees is pretty tough. So anybody here local in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, western Washington, and on into southern Oregon. I'm making quite a few trips into northern California. I'm going to start growing queens down there early this year, then bring the operation north. But anybody interested can get a hold of me. Get a hold of me on email. Give me a phone call, send a text. The phone number is 971-241-1325. If you've got any questions on this, new beekeepers, give me a holler. Happy to help. I want your bees to survive. I want to educate you so it doesn't cost you by having to buy more bees to learn. So like and subscribe if you haven't. And like say, let me know what you want me to talk about. I can get you, you know, all kinds of information, show you how to do this if I know what you need to know. So thanks for watching, guys.